Men, what makes your interest level in a woman go from 100 to 0 the fastest? Having to chase her constantly. If I'm the only one acting like I give a crap, I'm no longer giving a crap. My dad always told me never to chase after women or buses. The next one will be along in 10 minutes. She says or does things to test the relationship or see how I would react. Easy. I leave or state you should go if at my house. I once watched a video of this girl who asked these camera guys to hire a porn star and find out if her boyfriend would cheat on her. He shut the porn star down, saying he had a girlfriend, and then when his girlfriend revealed that she was just testing him, he dumped her. Respect. That's no relationship I want to be in. Making fun of someone's appearance. To hell with you, you random woman. That man in my thrift shop is Peter. He was in a horrific car accident when he was younger and suffered a brain injury as well as some scarring. That's why he dresses a bit funny and looks kinda dumpy. But he comes in almost every day to buy photo frames to put pictures of his parents and who died in that car accident. Don't judge a book by its cover. That is flat out one of the most tragic things I've ever heard. Does he have anyone helping him out? Is he doing okay? He does okay. He lives with his grandma. I ran into them while at the supermarket one day. Plays on her phone the whole time we hang out. Went on a Tinder date with a girl that definitely just tried to get a free meal. I noticed Mike pop up multiple times. Could be an uncle or something, but I really doubt it. When the bill came, I said, "Oh, we'll be splitting it." The look she gave me was great, except then she revealed she didn't even bring her purse. Good times, Megan. I guess you better give someone a call then. Anyway, here's my half. Have a good one. If she gives me the silent treatment without even telling me why she's upset. As a guy, I don't do silent long. But sometimes I do it if I think it's going to make things worse, or especially if I know my position is wrong. Like I'm irrationally angry about something minor. Doesn't happen much, but it's happened a few times in my life. I don't want to talk then because I know I'm being dumb and I just want to cool off on my own. Usually I go, "Look, I am just irritated today and irrational, so just warning that I am not ignoring you and to avoid me. Better than just not saying anything at all and appearing like I'm sulking." Doesn't add anything to the conversation. If it takes immense effort to maintain a conversation with you, then it's a turnoff for me. It's not my responsibility to make a conversation happen. It's a team effort. Just women? For me, this is how I judge friends. Can't stand being the only one trying. So brutal to carry conversations. I hate silence after a great conversation and try to fill it, but all the time, it's difficult. She lies little white lies to other people, often. Especially people close to her. I had a friend who would not only do this, but make up entire stories of completely realistic anecdotes and then burst out giggling that other people actually believed her. Like she was on vacation in LA and saw a certain celebrity in a store. Or she has a relative that does a certain job related to the topic of discussion. Things normal people wouldn't be inclined to lie and make up stories about. She moved to another city because our group apparently has too much drama. It wasn't until over the course of the next several years and people comparing stories that we eventually figured out that she was probably a psychopath. So yeah, totally with you on this one. Consistently lying is a huge red flag. I know if someone can keep something like that from their parents or people that they know their whole lives, it's easy to keep it from me. Ironically enough, the girl I'm referencing didn't lie for fun, just for convenience. She was truthful about sleeping with another guy hundreds of miles away, though I carried on seeing her after. I knew in my gut after her telling me how dishonest she was to her parents, this was not going to go well. But I'm a man and I'm stupid. She's rude. Mine is when she makes plans and promises you didn't even ask for, then backs out at the last moment. Happened to me a few weeks ago. She said she was really into me, wanted to go out and stuff like that. The day comes and she ghosts me. Thanks for wasting my time, Kirsten. Not sure if a typo, but this is how you get your name misspelled at Starbucks. Kirsten. It's Kirsten, but with a K and an I before the R and an E before the I. Barista. What the actual hell? No goals or ideas about what she wants to do in life. A lot of them are just banking on getting married and being a stay-at-home mom. No thanks, I'm trying to find someone to build the Second Prussian Empire with. When she keeps referencing her ex, nothing says, "You are only here to fill the void," more than her constantly reminding you she had someone before you. Might be an unpopular opinion, but if you're both with someone for a long time, sometimes it's hard to find stories that don't involve an ex. I was thinking of contributing the same thing. I had a guy get on my case for bringing up an ex too often, according to him, and I was like, well, we dated for 2 years and lived together. I can't really talk about those 2 years without him coming up. For instance, he'd asked if I had ever been camping. I'd say yes and give some details to be conversational, and he'd ask, "Who'd you go with?" and get mad when I gave an honest answer. There's no getting around the fact that I've dated before, but I don't mention the guys for some ulterior motive. Expects me to make all the moves in establishing the relationship. Reciprocity makes the world turn. Yes, and along these lines, if you like romance, then be romantic too. Some women think they're romantic, but what they mean is that they want romantic gestures done for them and have never considered doing romantic things for their man. Nothing takes me from 100 to 0 like being the only romantic in a relationship. I like extremely thoughtful, not necessarily expensive gifts, and surprises too. Make me a mixtape that expresses how you feel about me. Make me a picnic of my favorite things and meet me there with that surprise, etc. It doesn't even need to be large gestures like these all the time, or when you're extremely busy at work or daily or whatever, but just doing something extra for the person whenever you can shows that you're thinking about them and really care about them when they're not around. I love surprising my husband with a simple bouquet of flowers. He knows I got them at the grocery store, but the thought that he gets to get flowers seems to entrance him. Annoying voice. I don't care if she's the most beautiful woman on earth. If she has a stupid voice, I can't even be in the same room without internally screaming. I don't have to know that. I'm a girl. Do people honestly say that? The one time I said anything close to that was my husband was telling me that I needed to change my oil, and I told him that my dad refused to teach me anything related to a car. Told me that you'll either have a dad or a husband. You don't need to know that. If you can't handle me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best. When she said, if everyone else got the flu shot, I don't need to. Woman, I am a man of science, do not test me. Herd immunity? That's actually the argument of a regular anti-vaxxer. If everyone is getting their shots and vaccines are so good, then why should I or my kid get them? She's not like other girls. It's a phrase for a lot of young girls and young women. If a woman in her late 20s is still going on about it, she's dense. Or my other favorite is, I don't like other women, or I'm only friends with guys. Woo girls. I never believed in woo girls. Just thought it was a funny scene from How I Met Your Mother. Then one day a friend threw a birthday party for his girlfriend and invited all her college friends. I can't even exaggerate how bad it was. I was timing it down to 30 seconds between woos. Every song that came in, woo. Every dance move, woo. Every shot, woo. Every woo, woo. I left early because of a migraine. When she doesn't like to be silly once in a while, there's no point in being grown up if you can't be childish sometimes. Chews while her mouth is open. With gum. Never trust a child who chews bubblegum flavored bubblegum, and never trust an adult who chews gum at all. Anonymous. When she never graduated high school and has no real job, her dream is to open a strip club, and then she makes me look at photos of her getting spanked by various C-list celebrities and watch her cringe pole dancing videos on our first date at the bar. The absolute showstopper, though, was that her favorite house in Harry Potter was Hufflepuff. That's where I draw the line. Hey, I resent the anti-Hufflepuff sentiment. Some of us just aren't forward and want to be at home with a cup of tea. The type that seems to be on her phone all the time while she's with you, and then when you actually text her, she never responds to your texts, or responds with K, or LOL, or happy face emoji. I mean, I understand not having the time or not having anything to say, but really? After that, it's pretty clear she's not into you. She's also usually the type that will do this, and then when she comes to complain to you, you're instantly supposed to drop everything for her. If I spot a Live, Laugh, Love poster in her room, playing hard to get or acting uninterested, I'm 30. I don't have time to keep courting you to see if you come around. If you're not clearly into me on the first date, there won't be a second. Amen, brother. Same with trying to make plans. I'm not going to keep trying just to have you back out on them constantly. Bro, I hate this crap with a passion. It should not be a heavy burden to stay true to your word when it comes to making simple plans. I can deal with a rain check. Crap happens, right? But if it happens more often than not, I've lost total interest. No woman is that awesome to jump through that many hoops for. I once was dating a girl, and while at the bus stop, she suddenly said, "There are no attractive people around here right now." Super weird, but okay. I said, "Well, you missed a really cute Latina girl walk by a few seconds ago." And she says, You're just pointing out another hot girl you saw? You can't do that, it makes me feel insecure. Noped on out. Everyone has insecurities, but damn. The relationship I had before that and now, we were constantly pointing out good-looking people to each other. She wanted you to feed her ego, and you didn't follow the script. Classic fishing for compliments gone wrong. Clueless about world events, attitude of better than others, materialistic, and poor spelling. Doesn't like animals or gets panicky about nature or dirt. Kids. I'm a single mom and I understand this entirely. You didn't create the child and therefore it is in no way your responsibility to step up into a parent position. Many single moms think that a guy is rude or mean for not wanting to date them, but I'm cool with it. Unless someone genuinely wants children, then it's not fair to me or my child to expect them to take on my child as their own. Honestly, it goes both ways. I love my kid, but I really don't like other kids, so I won't date a guy that already has kids. I don't feel like I could love someone else's kids enough to justify being in their lives. I'm also just happy being a single mom, so I don't put too much pressure on myself to find my kid a dad, like some single moms do. If she smokes, it's an instant turnoff for me. My dad, mom, grandma, grandpa, and most of my aunts and uncles smoke or smoked, and I can't stand the crap anymore. A party girl is a turnoff for me too. I don't drink anymore for several reasons, and I'm done dealing with that lifestyle from anybody. I don't care if you drink a bit, but I'm not going out to bars, etc. and partying with you while you get crap-faced for 5 days a week. Same man, smoking is not attractive. Being an airhead. Intelligence is seriously sexy. Clingy. Thinking irrationally, losing their temper and expecting others to be fine with it, and being a nasty piece of work in general. If you can't handle me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best. Equals crazy. A crappy attitude. I remember once I got this hot girl's number in college and took her out to dinner. She spent the entire time bitching about everything under the sun. Parents, friends, the food, the restaurant. At one point, I was tempted to sneak out, but I stuck it out and it actually got worse. After it was all said and done, she tried to get me to take her out again, but I weaseled out of it. Thinks she's better than she is, or has some kind of higher standard. You're human, love. We all crap and piss, yourself included. Super religious, says racist things, smokes, drugs issues, has 2 or more kids, or is always complaining. Religion doesn't bother me. It's when they focus their life solely on that and try to force their beliefs on other people is where the problem comes in. Entitlement. She complains about an issue but does nothing to try and solve it. I had a female friend try to explain to me that when women talk about problems, they just want men to listen and understand, not try to solve the problem. I can understand this to an extent, but boy is it infuriating to listen to the same problem over and over while she does nothing to fix it. Well, I guess, when they're like an adult or whatever, and for some reason they they still talk like this? That infuriated me. Well done. She's a narcissist. Talked to a woman recently, and her explanation to everything she didn't like coming from a man was mansplaining. I took it as pure narcissism. Can imagine how she took criticism from me on how not everyone was treating her differently. This is a 100 to 0 for me. Saying any man buzzword. 100 to 0 immediately. Using a baby voice? Talks badly about people and lies. If someone does something with you, they will do it to you. Anything about horoscopes or other new age bullcrap. It's insufferable to be subjected to that crap, and when a profile is full of it, you know the dialogue will be too. Had one try to get me to do crystal healing, and another refused to talk to me because of my astrological sign. I don't even know what it is. It's terrible. She and her so-called girlfriends like to get so crazy. Right? Give me a break. I don't like dogs. Okay, later. If she won't get off my ass about getting back into something I've cut out of my life entirely. These weren't decisions I made lightly. Half of the time, it felt like cutting off my own arm, even if the damned thing was gangrenous. I'm not sewing my metaphorical dead arm back on because I shouldn't have cut it off in the first place. I don't care if you don't like my life choices, but it's my life. Back off or get out. Oh yes, you're right. My choice to stop drinking is just because I didn't have the right people to drink with. Yep, that was why. According to my wife, marrying her, if I follow you, she insinuates your desire dropped off after marriage. Life tends to get grindy once the routine sets in. My hubby's libido ebbs and flows, and it took a long time to not internalize that crap. We show affection in very different ways, so after the initial honeymoon phase wore off, there was a learning curve. I've learned his tells for happiness and affection, amidst quite a bit of his reassurance, and that has helped tremendously. Good luck. If she's married or already has a boyfriend. Stupidity, not having common sense. Thinks men have no issues. Some women have an inferiority complex that makes up a large part of their personality. Accepting that men have issues means hers aren't getting as much attention. Sucks. She's demanding, rude, or otherwise abusive towards service staff. If they are extremely rude and disrespectful towards or make fun of fast food workers. I worked at McDonald's for 6 months between jobs, and the people I worked with are some of the nicest people I've known. A lot of them were high school or college-aged kids just trying to earn some spending money or pay rent at their apartment. Others literally had nowhere else to go, but still came in with a smile. So whenever a woman, or anyone for that matter, starts crap-talking fast food workers or just being bullies, I automatically lose all respect for them. Also, a word of advice: if the same restaurant consistently messes up your order, it's either A, you came in at the busiest time of the day with a large or complex order, or B, you're very impatient and pushy, or C, you are always rude. The only real deal breaker for me is religion. If she has one, I'm not going to be able to connect with her well. This is not to say anything bad about religious people, most people are religious, but in choosing a partner for me specifically, that would kill it. Dislike of animals. Not wanting to be equal in the relationship. This killed my last relationship. The standards she held herself to was clearly different than the standards she held me to. It was, you should take me out to eat, not let's go out to eat. The way she treated me and talked to me was not how I was supposed to talk to her or treat her. Worse, she couldn't see why that was a problem. Got out quickly. She smokes, talks too loud, and has no education. Never admitting fault or apologizing when they are wrong. No ambition, goals, achievement, or independence. Can I speak to the manager? I just don't like reading, or reading isn't my thing. It's one thing to be a picky reader or not have enough free time to get into a decent-sized book, but saying you are actively against reading is a huge red flag and makes me think less of you as a person. Talking about red flags. Talks about her horoscope. Tells me why she's big into homeopathy. Won't shut up about all these political causes she's active in, but in reality, it's just her liking/marking events on Facebook and never actually going to them. If they speak as if they are gangsters or can't spell at all, intelligence is super attractive. A few things. Playing hard to get is a big one. There's a difference between being coy or shy and just being annoying. The way she treats others. I walked out on a date after seeing the way she treated her kid and ended more than a few after seeing them treat waitstaff poorly or just being rude to others. Needing constant validation is another big one. I don't care for you begging for compliments constantly. If I didn't think you're beautiful, smart, and wonderful, etc., I wouldn't be with you in the first place. Being dumb or playing dumb. If we can't have a decent conversation, or if you constantly have to ask me to explain simple things, then we just aren't compatible. I don't expect everyone to be a genius, but I do expect people to know that the sun is a star and the earth is round. I nearly got set up with a girl who is apparently both crazy and incredibly racist. Prior to my knowledge of that, I had a really good feeling about meeting her. From our mutual friend's description, she sounded like an awesome girl that was straight up my alley. But the bad sort of crazy isn't something I want to deal with. If she says video games are dumb, just saving us both a lot of time by cutting it off there. When she gives attitude to everyone, then justifies that she's only exhibiting bad behavior due to stressful circumstances she's under. No matter how crappy a person's circumstances are, I don't think it gives them a right to be an asshole. Other reasons. Being irresponsible, refusing to clean up her mess, and refusing to let anyone else clean it. Being a woman child who can't take care of herself and throws tantrums in public. Thinking it's acceptable to cancel appointments and break promises that were made. It just shows disrespect for other people's time. Being anti-vaccine. I'm obviously never going to have kids with them, so I'd smash, but never be in a relationship with them. Can't have an intelligent conversation with her. In no particular order: 1. Smoking, 2. Being cruel, 3. She stinks, 4. Wasted, 5. Thinks Trump is great, and 6. Is irresponsible. discovering that she eats the hell up with religion. Looking for a muscly 6-foot-tall man, ... She speaks like a valley girl. Like, oh my god? Low reading level. Rude to hospitality staff, waiters and waitress. When they act dumb but are actually not. This thread is mildly depressing. As a hetero woman, I actually find it pretty reassuring. Most of the answers are about hygiene, health, maturity, and life compatibility. Those to me are the least superficial things to base attraction on. There seem to be a lot of women out there who are trying to basically be Kim Kardashian. Not only do I despise Kim Kardashian and want nothing to do with any woman that wants to be like her, but I wouldn't want to be with a woman who's trying to be someone else anyway, even if I liked the person she was trying to be. Instant turnoff. Acts responsible, but turns out she isn't and uses me to get good grades. You thought she wanted the D, but it turns out she just wanted an A. For me, it's tattoos. I know this isn't a common thing for most guys, but to me it feels like there are way better ways to acknowledge or honor someone or something important to you than permanently marking your body. No, I don't want to know the story behind the Dreamweaver on your thigh, or why you have an arrow on your forearm. And honestly, I couldn't care less about that bullcrap pseudo-theosophical saying or lyric on your shoulder. If that stuff is really important to you, then talk to me about it. Don't permanently mark your body with it. That crap lasts forever. Tastes and ideas change as time passes. Mistakes can be made, and it won't remotely look that cool in about 20 years. To me, tattoos scream, I live in the moment and don't remotely consider the future. Also, as many other guys have suggested, smoking, crap talking about others, princess syndrome. I don't mind religiousness if it's genuine and not an excuse to cover up a bullcrap personality. When she lights up a cigarette. She believes something that I consider stupid. An example was a first date with a woman, and at some point our conversation was about speeding tickets. She told me that you don't have to pay a ticket if the cop was hiding when he clocked you on the radar, because that's entrapment. He has to be in clear view for the ticket to be enforceable. I didn't know her well enough to call her a fool, so I just nodded like I was learning something, but I was mentally swiping left. Make sure to say she's a feminist as soon and as often as possible. Or vegan, or Christian, or atheist, or whatever. Now realize that having certain values is one thing, and saying you belong to a certain group or ideology is another. The first has to do with how you live your life. The second has to do with how you want people to perceive you. And well, in my experience, it's a bad sign when people want you to focus on what they tell. It usually means that there's something not quite right with what they show. I dated a girl who believed everything Alex Jones said. If she isn't feminine, contrary to popular belief, feminine women are strong and powerful and much more pleasant to be around. I have the utmost respect for women who are confident in their femininity. When you find out she has kids, that she gets to see every other weekend. I don't believe in evolution. Done. Religion. Militant atheists are a big turnoff for me. I'm a princess. Clingy. If they're a liberal extremist, when they start foaming at their mouth over liberal issues by hating the other side or other liberals that don't think like them, I'd put right-wing extremists in this category too, but I don't know many conservatives because I'm liberal and travel in liberal circles myself. Let's shoot for a more centrist approach, whether you are liberal or conservative. If she expects the world to cater to her specifications, goes to -100 if she gets catty about it too. You meet her parents for the first time and it turns out you and her father look nearly identical. Gossipers. You never really know if you can trust them. Therefore, closeness and sentiment are not possible. Girls who have poor hygiene regardless of their looks. Inability or unwillingness to communicate, to discuss current situations, to try and understand what is going on in the relationship, romantic or not. The only way to find common ground and to understand each other is through communication. If you are not willing to do that, I can't keep investing my emotions in you. I don't know how Reddit will interpret this, but my biggest turnoff is if a girl says she used to party a lot. Like, I understand you're a party girl, but nothing is less attractive than bragging about how much crazy stuff you have done in your past. That includes all the drugs and sex that you had. Sorry, I'm not interested. Smoking cigarettes kills it for me. Verbal diarrhea. Being cruel to waiters and waitresses, acting like they are beneath her, instant turnoff. Cruelty to animals, to strangers, to service people, etc. Nothing is more unattractive to me than that. Horse girls. Guys who have dated horse girls will know exactly what I mean. All that crap they say about horse girls is true. You will be the third most important thing to her, behind her horse and her daddy's money. Not saying every girl who is in the equestrian scene is like this, but I have yet to be proven wrong. Horse girls are insane too. Any girl that makes me carry the conversation. Unfortunately, I think this is how I ended up with a wife that never knows when to hush. If she owns a freaking horse, all she will talk about is the freaking horse. All she will do in her spare time is brush the horse. You will schedule your vacations around the horse. You will end up paying for the horse. No. Run away. Lack of grammar. Her referring to herself as a princess. What if she really is in the royal line of succession? If she wants kids. Might be the only one here who thinks this, but when it's obvious a girl had to go some lengths to take a picture solely for Instagram, that crap turns me off and I find it extremely superficial. Shallow. Appears vapid or unintelligent or smokes. Those are my big three. Whining. Everyone's life is hard. Complaining and whining about it makes you look like an 8-year-old little girl who can't handle anything in life. Unfortunately, my wife and her 58-year-old mother haven't seemed to figure that out. If she ever uses the phrase lady boner, lower back tattoos. Low confidence is the single most destructive trait for someone trying to be attractive. I loathe women that talk crap about themselves and think that they're not great. She probably loathes herself a fair amount already. Source: am woman. Sometimes hate myself. Twerking. People who have instant turnoffs are kind of a turnoff for me. Quit being so judgmental. Women that like Disney way too much. A Disney movie a few times per year is fine, but you are a grown adult now. Too much makeup. Fake fingernails. Thanks for watching until the end. If you'd like to give an example in the comment section below, please feel free to do so. But please remember to be respectful. Then be sure to like this video, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that you know when our next video is available. For more videos like this one right now, please stop by our channel. Thanks again, and see you next time.